My mom called me a slut for getting pregnant by mistake. Then the same thing happened to her. My mom never let me forget that I ruined my life by having my son Hudson when I was 16. She'd wake me up for school by saying good morning to the slut who couldn't keep her legs closed and destroyed her whole future for 5 minutes of fun. Every day she reminded me that I was an embarrassment to our family, and she was ashamed to show her face at church. Teen moms are just sluts who got caught, she'd tell her friends on the phone loud enough for me to hear from my room. When Hudson cried at night, she'd bang on my door screaming that this was my punishment and I better not wake her up with my mistakes. At family dinners, she'd announce that I was lucky she didn't throw me out on the street like I deserved. I worked nights at the grocery store and went to school during the day, while Hudson stayed at daycare that took most of my paycheck. Mom charged me rent for my childhood bedroom and made me buy all my own food and diapers, even though she made good money as a nurse. She told everyone at church that she was a saint for letting her slut daughter live at home instead of making me homeless like other parents would. When I got straight A's, she said it didn't matter because teen moms don't go to college and I'd be working minimum wage forever. You're damaged goods now, and no decent man will ever want you, she said every time she saw me doing homework at the kitchen table. I applied for scholarships behind her back and got a full ride to the state college for next year. Hudson was thriving at daycare and hitting all his milestones early, even though mom said children of teens always turn out stupid. I saved every penny I could and planned to move into student housing with Hudson as soon as I graduated. Mom had no idea I was leaving because she was too busy going to wine nights. She'd been going out more and more lately and coming home drunk at 3 in the morning smelling like cologne. But then mom missed her period and I heard her throwing up every morning for a week. She took 5 pregnancy tests in the bathroom and I heard her sobbing when they all came back positive. The real shock came at her first ultrasound when she found out it was triplets from some guy she met at a bar whose name she didn't even remember. She was 43 years old and suddenly pregnant with 3 babies from a one-night stand while drunk. This can't be happening to me, she kept crying while I fed Hudson his breakfast. Her church friends completely abandoned her when they found out she was pregnant without a husband or even a boyfriend. They called her the same names she'd called me for 3 years, like war and slut and embarrassment. Her job put her on unpaid leave because she was too sick from the pregnancy to work, and she couldn't afford the mortgage without my rent money. She had to sell her nice car for a used minivan that could fit 3 car seats. The pregnancy was high risk because of her age and the triplets, so she was on bed rest by month 5. Mom suddenly wanted me around all the time to bring her food and clean the house and help her to the bathroom. She cried about how her life was over and she'd never find a husband now with 3 babies and no money. At least you only had 1 baby to ruin your life, but I have 3, she sobbed, like I should feel sorry for her. The church kicked her out of the women's ministry for getting pregnant outside of marriage, and she had nobody left because she'd spent years judging everyone else. She begged me to skip school to take her to doctor appointments and got mad when I said I couldn't miss class. The triplets came early and spent weeks in the NICU, costing more than mom would make in 5 years. She couldn't work with 3 newborns, and daycare would cost $4,000 a month. Mom had to apply for food stamps and welfare just like she'd shamed other single moms for doing. She couldn't handle all 3 babies crying at once and would scream for me to help while I was trying to study for finals. You know what it's like being a young mom, so you need to help me, she said, like we were suddenly the same. I showed her my college acceptance letter and told her Hudson and I were moving out after graduation. Mom's face went white and she started shaking while holding one of the crying triplets. You can't leave me alone with 3 babies when you know what this is like, she screamed. I reminded her that she never helped me once with Hudson and called me a names every day for 3 years. I've already paid the deposit on our apartment and Hudson's enrolled in the campus daycare, I told her while packing our stuff. She blocked my bedroom door, holding all 3 screaming babies who were red-faced and desperate. If you leave, I'll die trying to take care of these babies alone, and it'll be your fault for abandoning your family. I looked at the triplets who didn't ask to be born into this mess and felt my stomach twist. My mom didn't deserve anything from me, but how was I supposed to choose myself over 3 innocent babies? Full story on the channel below.